What's up, everyone? I'm Megan Avery, and welcome to Boss FM Now, where you know you can always count on Boss FM to deliver the latest and greatest in pop culture, politics, and whatever is buzzing in the streets. We do it for the culture.
That's right, Megan. And because we know that you have your phone in your hand, we need you to go ahead and download that Boss FM app and follow us at Boss FM Radio on all social media platforms so that you can stay connected.
Today we've got a new episode of Rapid Fire with David Medina, Indie Streets with Harvey, and a discussion with our contributors. So let's get into it. For our first story of the night, Pharrell Williams is calling for a federal investigation over the fatal shooting of his cousin. His cousin Donovan Lynch was shot on May 27th around Virginia Beach's oceanfront strip. Around 2 a.m., two shootings nearby triggered police activity. Police are claiming Lynch had a handgun that was found at the scene. The officer's body cam has not been activated as of this moment. The city police has turned this investigation over to the Virginia State Police.
It's absolutely horrible. Let's just hope that whoever committed that crime is brought to justice. And now, let's dive into some quick news with David Medina's segment of Rapid Fire.
What's up, guys? You guys are now tuned in to Rapid Fire. I'm your host, David Medina with Boss FM Now. Now let's hop into the latest trendy news. Kanye West documentary reportedly sold to Netflix for $30 million, Builder reports. The multi-part project will feature never-before-seen archival footage of Ye and material 21 years in the making. It comes from Clarence Cody Simmons and Shaikh Oza, the duo known as Cody and Shaikh. They co-directed Ye's 2003 Through the Wire video and the third version of Jesus Walks. KKK flyers were found in Huntington Beach a week ahead of White Lives Matter events. The flyers featured a drawing of robed and hooded figures standing in front of a burning cross beneath the words "White Lives Do Matter," which was shared on social media posts. Krispy Kreme introduces new Oreo glazed donuts for a limited time. Together, the donut chain shop and the cookie brand Oreo have launched two brand new treats, making it the first time Krispy Kreme has ever done a brand collaboration. Customers can choose from the Oreo glazed donut or the Oreo cookie over the top donut from now until April 18th. Lil Wayne plans Young Money and Friends event for August in LA. On Wednesday, Lil Wayne's cannabis brand GKUA announced the rapper will play a Los Angeles event entitled Young Money and Friends this August. The event promises Lil Wayne, Young Money, and unspecified guest performances. The show is currently scheduled to take place on August 13th, 2021, and tickets will go on sale April 20th, 2021. Thank you for tuning in to Rapid Fire. I'm your host, David Medina with Boss FM Now. Now back to the guys in the studio.
I'd like to welcome to our broadcast CJ and Harvey. So CJ, those donuts looked pretty good, didn't they?
My bad. All right, I had a mute there. I don't know. Those donuts look pretty gross to me. Would you guys try that?
I would.
No. Nah, it looks like a stomach ache, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, Oreo glazed? I don't know.
Doing a little too much.
Yeah, I'm cool with Oreo, but not Oreo glaze. That's a bit. It's a stretch for me.
It does seem to be kind of a lot, but I don't know, I have a big sweet tooth. I'm willing to try anything.
I feel it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down to try it, but I'm not gonna like it. Probably won't like it.
Well, thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes. Moving right along, Mark, talk to us about the UK COVID variant.
Sure thing, Megan. Based on the CDC estimates, the UK variant of the coronavirus is now the most common in the United States. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said that B.1.1.7 variant is now the most common lineage circulating in the U.S. Studies have shown that this variant is more contagious than the original strain of corona and is possibly more dangerous with a higher risk of death. Cases have arisen these last 4 weeks, mainly because of the ongoing spread of B.1.1.7 and other concerning variants. Currently, there are 16,275 confirmed cases of B117 throughout the United States, according to the CDC. And now, contributor Harvey Cruz has a new episode of In These Streets. Let's check it out.
Hello, hello. As we journey through the days, let's talk about what's going on in our towns, state, etc. Let's dive in these streets. According to a report from NJ.com, environmental authorities are working to discover a mysterious bacteria that has killed many fish in many waterways. This photo of dead fish in Redback, New Jersey, has made headlines over what possible substance has made fish floating and washing ashore. The incidents have also occurred in New York, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. The bacteria known as Vibrio could be the leading cause, as it is more prevalent when the water is warmer and usually found in salt water. But the investigation rolls on to find more specifics. And if you like art and would like to submit your works, you are invited to put your artwork to the Trenton City Museum via their online entry system. This year's event will open June 26th and will remain on view until the beginning of October. Deadlines for submission online are April 30th. Awards and prizes are up for grabs, including $1,000 for Best in Show. Harvey Cruz, Boss FM Now.
Okay, welcome back, you guys. So, Harvey, what did you learn about this art thing that you shared with us?
Well, I learned that it could be many types of arts, so it doesn't matter if it's like water painting or just sketching. You can go through the online auditions, the online submissions as well, and you can join in up until the end of this month, the end of April. So if I was anybody that knows anybody that can do art in any sort of fashion, I would send them the story and the link to it. And listen, you have a chance at $1,000, and you have a chance to get your art looked at. So it's a win-win regardless. Anybody's art is well received in my book. I can't draw to save my life. So any art that I look at is beyond me and is way better than mine. So listen, take a look at it, take a chance at it. You have nothing to lose.
Honestly, yeah, it sounds like a wonderful competition, regardless of if you win or not, because even if you aren't, you're at least working towards something, which I think is really cool. So, Mark, what did you think about our fish story? All these fish are washing up on the beach. How do you feel about that?
No, it's absolutely horrible, and this is a problem that we've been dealing with a long time. Just overall, just not just bacteria, but with pollution as well. And it's come a time where we really need to do something about it, because it's only going to get worse from here on out if nothing is done.
Exactly, I agree 100%. We will now be discussing a rebooted show coming to the CW tonight. Kung Fu was originally released in 1972, featuring a white actor learning martial arts from an ensemble of Asian characters. The show has been heavily criticized for its racist portrayal of Asian American people and its main character. But in the 2021, a reboot was announced with Christina M. Kim, who is an Asian woman, and she's the program creator, and there is also going to be an all-Asian cast to boot. Let's watch the trailer.
To truly master Kung Fu, you must find peace. Peace with your family.
Peace and my family don't really go together.
Golden Child's back, baby.
I don't think I'm gonna go to law school anymore.
Walk in like a boss where my money at.
You've been training since you got back?
Does fighting gangsters count? Thanks for the assist. You're a Kung Fu butt-kicking hero?
On the A-list, you will see.
There's a girl. She's in trouble. I stepped in.
Stepped in?
More like punch and kick.
I'd live for this stuff.
You took down an army by yourself.
You basically walked on air.
It was physics. This is what I meant to do.
Kung Fu. New series starts Wednesday, April 7th. Free next day only on the CW app.
So, Harvey, what do you think about this trailer and this show as a whole so far?
I like that they're giving us a reboot and that they're bringing this back into the mainstream. I also like the representation of all the Asian actors in this, and I'm glad that it's here. I just hope it's here to stay. I don't want this whole like 9-month run or 1 season, 2 season type run. I want something that's sustainable. That way, you know, you don't have to eventually fall into like a retread, or that this stuff just fades away as like before the end of the year. So hopefully this is here to stay.
And how about you, CJ? What are your thoughts about all of this?
I agree. I never heard of the original, actually. I don't know. What era did it come from? You said the 80s or?
It was from the 1970s.
Oh, the 70s. Okay. Well, I love that they're redoing it with an all Asian cast as opposed to having a white guy. So I might check it out.
How about you, Mark? What do you think about?
Well, I definitely enjoy the fact that it's an all Asian cast, because I feel like it promotes more like, representation of Asian Americans or just Asian actors in general in on television.
I felt the same way. I watched it and it looks pretty cool. Like something I would maybe watch on my own. Although having it be on the CW is always a worry for me, because the CW is notorious for not making the best shows in the whole world. I mean, Riverdale is a CW show, if that is all the explanation you need. But I am hopeful this will be something really good, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. But CJ, do you think this is empowering the Asian community with all the things that they've faced in the recent weeks?
I think to a degree, yeah. Representation is important, and if not just for the simple fact that there are Asian actors who are getting work because of it. So I think because of that, at the very least, it's empowering.
And how about you, Harvey? Do you think this is an empowering move in the right direction?
Yeah, CJ's right when he says that it empowers men to like a fall. But I will say this: just being on a show like this already raises your stock, raises your fame, because eventually, whether it's in a TV sitcom or any type of reality show, you're gonna get noticed, and once you get noticed, people will start clamoring for you to be on podcasts and interviews, and that's where like the real statements are made, where you're on the record and you're promoting awareness for Asian hate. That way it goes away quickly. And so stuff like that the empowerment is in there, it's inherent. And I think that as long as the show is there to stay, as we mentioned before, the empowerment goes along with it. So hopefully the things work hand in hand.
And how about you, Mark?
No, I definitely agree with Harvey. That empowerment will always be there unless that show is up, and just like, I feel like when it comes to like, representation of the Asian community and like everything they faced in these past couple of weeks, it's going to take a little more than just the show to, really like expand on what's been going on these past couple of weeks. But I'm definitely glad to see an all Asian cast.
Me too. When I was reading that this was an all-Asian cast, I was very happy because, as I discussed before we watched this clip, the original show was about a white man learning from this Asian community, which meant that probably was not the best. I mean, obviously it came out in the 70s, which was a different time, but that doesn't mean that we have to take those ideas into the new show that they are revamping. So I'm happy that they completely scrapped that. It feels like almost an apology for the past, even though obviously none of the people who originally worked on that show are working on this show right now. I'm definitely happy to see the things that they are doing for this. But CJ, do you see any potential flaws in this series?
I mean, like you had mentioned earlier, it is the CW. So, it came off kind of cheesy. I think that's the CW. A lot of their shows are cheesy. I don't know if that's part of the writing over there, but if I were to point out one flaw, that's what I would say.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining with us today, and we will see you in just a few moments. Let's jump into our next segment with CJ Atkins, which is TikTok food.
Thank you guys in the studio. I'm your host CJ with Boss FM, here to present TikTok food. Now I wanted to make something that some people might consider a struggle meal and try and make it fancy. So I'm going to try and remix these bananas and give it to you in under a minute. Let's see how it went.
Okay, first things first, you're going to need a banana. Wow, big surprise there, right? Now you could take some butter, some margarine, whatever you prefer, mix it with some cinnamon, put it in your pot while it's warming up. There we go. Now you're going to chop up your banana. Okay, and now that you got your bananas chopped up, you can throw them in the pan. Usually cook them around medium heat for about 3 minutes on each side. Now it's time for some honey. Go ahead and drizzle that honey on there just like this. That's got to be hitting, right?
Cook that shit up, Quay.
And now your food is ready. And won't you look at that? Wow. Doesn't that just look nutritious? Who knew fine dining was so affordable? Oh my, would you look at that presentation? Wow. And if you're really feeling fancy, you can throw some fine sugar powder on top. Get real fancy on them. Oh my. Somebody tell Chef Ramsay I need a word. And that concludes your TikTok food segment. This has been CJ. Back to you guys in the studio.
So CJ, how did those taste? They looked beautiful, but did they taste just as pretty?
They were all right. They were a little sweet. That's why, to be expected with all that sugar on there, but they were sweet.
Do you think you'd make them again?
Probably not. Would you guys try them though?
I would. That presentation?
Okay, all right.
I'd give it a try. I'm a fan of plátanos and tostones, so I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah. You have a well-balanced meal right there with the eggs and the bacon. You got the sweet, you got the protein. If you had some juice thrown in the picture, it's a home run. But I'm sure Gordon Ramsay will notice, I think.
Okay, so I got all three of you. Now I just need to get Ramsay on the board.
Exactly. Well, thank you too for all of your contributes tonight, and we will see you guys very soon, I'm sure. Moving on to our next story, Mark, tell us what's going on with Tiger Woods.
15-time major golf championship winner Tiger Woods suffers major leg injuries from a deadly car crash 6 weeks ago. Woods was driving a Genesis SUV around 7 a.m. and his car was zooming down the road at a whopping 87 miles per hour until it hit a tree and flipped multiple times off the road. He was released from the hospital earlier this month with a number of serious injuries, and he is currently recovering at home. And we are wrapping things up tonight with the research article presented through Dance. Megan?
Heather Mason Forsyth is part of a team researching the COVID virus's proteins. Research related to these proteins could help create new drugs or vaccines in the future. Mason Forsyth decided to submit her research to the Science magazine. Her format? A narrated and choreographed dance video. She explained her discoveries while the dance styles demonstrated different elements of the proteins that the team studied. Mason Forsyth also has a popular TikTok account where she dances and answers questions related to science. But I wanted to say thank you everyone for listening and tuning in with us today. That is actually it for Boss FM Now. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard for more of the latest and greatest. If you'd like to watch our show, as always, they will be available for replay on our Boss FM app and on all our social media platforms. Thanks again for tuning in, y'all. It's Megan Avery.
And Mark Molina.
Have a good night.